Here is the English translation of the complete novel. The domineering CEO secret crush succeeded. Super sweet. Shucks. Ayulin twisted off the bottle cap and took a sip of water. His lips were red and glossy. From my angle, I could perfectly see his rolling Adam's apple. He shook his head, tugged left and right, loosened his tie, and exposed his exquisite collarbone. He looked up at me, his voice full of magnetism. Shinayan. Do you think I'm a beauty? Should I say yes or no at this time? I was a little flustered and looked at Shazi H.I. King. Shazi H.I. King shrugged, indicating she couldn't help. Damn, she actually watched me die without saving me. Ayulin's beautiful eyes stared tightly at me. It was as if there was a whirlpool at the bottom of those eyes, threatening to suck in a person's consciousness. I nodded involuntarily. Ayulin curved the corner of his mouth, stood up, and left. That was close. I almost knew how I would die. I plopped down onto the sofa. My brother won't let you die. Shazi H.I. King laughed, seeming to have thought of something. She lay on my shoulder. She said in a low voice. But if it were in another place, not necessarily. After saying this, she gave a wicked snicker, looking exactly like a perverted fangler. Shazi H.I. King asked me to call her brother downstairs for dinner. Although I always came to find Shazi H.I. King when I had no scenes, I had known them for so many years. Except for coming over to ask for help with homework when we were in school, I hadn't stepped into Zhao Ayulin's room much after starting work. I knocked on the door outside. No one answered. Brother Zhao, are you in the room? Xiao King asked me to call you downstairs for dinner. Still no one answered. I twisted the doorknob and found the door wasn't locked. I opened the door and walked in. Zhao Ayulin's bedroom was a large suite. I walked through the small living room inside and continued further in. Suddenly, I had an illusion that the door to the inner room was like a giant wolf, waiting for a little lamb to break in. As soon as I opened the door, it would swallow me whole. I stopped outside the door for a moment and shouted, Brother Zhao, are you in the room? It's time to go downstairs for dinner. But there was still no movement. I frowned and hesitated for a moment. In the end, I still didn't have the courage to open that door. I turned my head and was about to walk out when the door opened at this moment. Zhou Ayulin was bare-chested, revealing his well-defined ABS. His hair was still dripping water, and he was wearing only a bath towel around his waist. Looking for me, he asked with a hoarse voice. I covered my eyes with one hand and was about to run out. Although I worked in the entertainment industry and had seen countless handsome men, suddenly seeing the neighbor brother like this, I couldn't help but feel shy. But suddenly, the lights went out. It was pitch black. I felt like a headless fly, not knowing which direction to go. Bang! I didn't know what I bumped into. I immediately gasped in pain. It hurt so much. I cried out. Suddenly, a tight embrace surrounded me. Why are you running around? What if you get hurt? Zhao Ayulin's voice was a bit stern. How'd you get hurt? He was too close to me, and the breeze brought by his speech blew the fine hairs by my ear. I shivered, feeling itchy all over. I raised my hand to push him away. Brother Zhao, you're too close to me. His touch was no small matter. I only felt that my hand was hard. I groped a couple of times. Zhao Ayulin let out two muffled groans. It was ABS. So, was I touching Zhao Ayulin's ABS in the dark? I quickly withdrew my hand, my cheeks hot enough to fry an egg, and stammered an explanation B- Brother Zhao. I didn't mean to. It's too dark, It's okay, I know. There was a hint of undetectable amusement in his voice. In the darkness, I felt his chest vibrating slightly. Don't move, I'll turn on the light. Click! The room lit up instantly. The sudden light made me squint instinctively. When I adapted to the light, I realized I was still trapped in his arms. His hands were braced against the wall behind me, forming a posture of absolute control. He was wearing only a bath towel. and water drops slid down his defined abdominal muscles, disappearing into that alluring shadow. My brain went boom, as if countless bees were buzzing around Chitikali. Have you looked enough? His low voice rang out from above, carrying a hint of mockery. Hey, I lowered my head abruptly, wishing I could find a crack in the ground to crawl into. Sorry, Brother Jia. I'm leaving right now. Like a frightened rabbit, I desperately tried to crawl out from under his arm, but I tripped and fell forward. Careful. Jia Yulin quickly wrapped his arm around my waist and pulled me back. This time, I crashed straight into his solid chest. The clear scent of his shower gel mixed with male pheromones lingered around my nose. Making me dizzy. Shinayan, he called my name, his voice lower and hoarser than usual. You seem to really like crashing into my arms. I didn't mean to. I was incoherent, my hands pressed against his chest, wanting to push him away but reluctant to let go of that warm touch. The question I asked you downstairs just now. He still haven't answered me. He seemed determined not to let me off the hook, leaning down slightly, his warm breath brushing against my ear. Do you think I'm a beauty? My face turned even redder, and my heart beat so fast it was about to jump out of my throat. Just now downstairs. I had nodded involuntarily, now looking at his nearly perfect face up close. I couldn't deny it even more. Yes. I mumbled in a tiny voice. Yes, what? He was relentless. You're a beauty. I closed my eyes and shouted in a fit of resignation. Jia Yulin let out a low laugh. The vibration of his chest clearly transmitted to my body. Then do you like me, this beauty? He pushed his lock. I opened my eyes abruptly and met his deep, starry eyes, which clearly reflected my flustered and helpless appearance. I? Knock, knock. Knock. An untimely knocking sound rang out, accompanied by Jia King's voice, which seemed eager to stir up trouble. Brother, Shinayan, what are you guys doing? The food is getting cold. If you don't come down, I'm coming in. I grabbed onto a lifeline, forcefully pushed Jia Yulin away, and dashed to the door like an escape. I opened the door and grabbed Jia King's arm. Zhao King, let's go eat. I'm hungry. Jia King looked at my flushed face, then at her brother in the room who was wearing only a bath towel and had an unreadable expression, and revealed an I-get-it ambiguous smile. Alright, let's eat. During dinner, I kept my head down the whole time, not daring to look at Jia Yulin. He, however, remained composed and even served me some food, as if the intimate scene in the room just now had never happened. Shinayan, why is your face so red? Do you have a fever? Jia King asked rhetorically. No. Maybe it's a bit hot in the room. I randomly pushed the rice around in my bowl. Jia Yulin served me a bowl of soup and placed it in front of me, saying inferiorly, have some soup to cool down. I took the soup bowl, my fingertips accidentally touching his hand. I recoiled as if I had been burned, spilling some of the soup. Clumsy, he sighed, pulled out a tissue, and naturally wiped the soup off my hand. His fingertips were warm, and his movements were gentle, making my whole body stiffen. Jia King watched with great interest, resting her chin on her hands and sighing, oh my brother is becoming more and more virtuous. Whoever marries him in the future will be so lucky. I almost choked on my soup. After dinner, Jia King was called away by a phone call, saying there was an emergency with the film crew. Only Jia Yulin and I were left in the living room, and the atmosphere suddenly became awkward. Brother Jean, I should get going too. I stood up, preparing to leave. I'll walk you out, he said unequivocally. No need. No need. I'll just take a taxi. I quickly waved my hands. It's so late. It's not safe. He had already picked up his car keys and walked towards the door. I could only follow, holding my breath. In the car, we didn't speak the whole way. I nervously fiddled with my seatbelt and secretly glanced at him. He was focused on driving, his profile sharp and incredibly handsome under the illumination of the street. When we arrived at the gate of my residential compound, I unfastened my seatbelt and said quickly, Brother Shaw, "Thank you for walking me home. I'm here. Goodbye." After saying this, I opened the car door and was about to get out. Chinayan, he stopped me. I turned my head, my heart starting to beat wildly again. "You haven't answered my question yet." He looked at me, his eyes serious and persistent. "Do you like me?" I was stunned, my mind going blank. He leaned over, close enough for me to see his distinct eyelashes. "Give me an answer, okay?" His voice was as gentle as a net, trapping me firmly. I looked at him, and the moments when he took care of me, the moments my heart fluttered, played back in my mind like a movie. I like you." I finally gathered the courage to speak the words hidden in my heart. Shaw X. Ayulin's eyes instantly lit up, as if filled with starlight. A triumphant smile curved his lips, and he reached out to ruffle my hair. "Good girl." Then, he leaned in and, under my astonished gaze, gently kissed my forehead. "From now on, you're not allowed to call me Brother Jean anymore," he commanded in a low voice. "Call me X Ayulin or hubby." My face instantly exploded with redness, and I stammered, unable to say a word. He chuckled softly, helped me open the car door. "Go up. Text me when you get home." I got out of the car like a wooden doll and watched him drive away before touching my forehead where he had kissed me, feeling as if my whole body was floating. Back home, I threw myself onto the bed, hugged my pillow, and rolled around, unable to help but let out a squeal like a groundhog. My phone vibrated. It was a message from Jean Xiulin. "Are you home?" I quickly replied, "Just got here." "That's good. Get some rest early. I'll pick you up tomorrow." "Pick me up for what?" "A date." Simple two words made my heart beat faster. "Okay." Hugging my phone, I sweetly drifted off to sleep. The next day, Jean Xiulin appeared downstairs on time. He was driving a flashy red sports car, wearing casual clothes and sunglasses, looking so handsome it was hard to look away. "Shaw Xiulin." I called his name with a red face, still feeling a bit awkward. "Get in." He opened the car door for me and gestured for me to get in. "Where are we going?" I asked curiously. "You'll know when we get there." He smiled mysteriously. The car drove all the way to the suburbs and finally stopped at the entrance of a private horse ranch. "You know how to ride a horse?" I looked at him in surprise. "You'll find out if you try." He took my hand and walked into the ranch, leading out to horses Adol. Strong black stallion and a gentle, cute white pony. "You ride this little white one, and I'll ride the little black one." He handed me the reins of the white horse and then effortlessly mounted the horse, his movements handsome and clean. I clumsily climbed onto the horse's back, too nervous to move. "Don't be afraid, just follow me." Jean Xiulin rode the black horse over to my side, reached out to hold my hand gripping the reins. "Relax. Gently squeeze your legs against the horse's belly, and it will walk." Under his guidance, I slowly relaxed. The little white horse walked obediently, moving slowly across the grass. The sunlight was just right, the breeze was gentle, and the person I liked was by my side. Everything was beautifully surreal. "Shinayan." Jean Xiulin suddenly called me. "Huh?" I turned my head to look at him. He urged his horse closer, riding side by side with me, and then leaned in to press a soft kiss on my lips. "I love you," he said. I froze on the spot, my heart pounding like a drum, a happy smile spreading across my face. "I love you too, Xiulin." The sunlight shed on us, casting long shadows, as if to freeze this moment of happiness forever.